Hello, welcome to the Be a CEO live show. I am so glad you are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am streaming this live show on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and also through my Clubhouse room. Drop in the comments and let me know where you are tuning in to me live from. My name is Michi Renee. I am the Queen Bee, business and monetization coach, that is, and the COO and co-founder of the Unicorn Tribe. I actually help Christian women ditch the hustle mentality to build and scale impactful online businesses, nonprofits, or ministry to be in flow and alignment to make consistent profit. So drop a hashtag. Let me know if you are watching me live or the replay for my Clubhouse room. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is an actual live show that I do on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube every week at 12 noon Central Standard Time. If this is your first time in my room, please click the little green house, join the Unicorn Tribe, follow me, and click the bell to toggle it on to always, and you will know any and every time that I actually bring a room on. So as usual, what's in your cup? So today I am drinking a ginger probiotic tea. Those of you who have been following me for a while, Clubhouse, this is new. I do segments. When I do my live shows, I always ask what's in your cup. I'm an avid tea drinker, love tea. And today I'm drinking a ginger green probiotic tea for health. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Be a CEO live show. Today we are going to be talking about resilience in business. I know that last year, COVID-19 really forced a lot of us to make some major pivots, shifts, changes, whatever you want to call it. We had to make a change in order to exist and continue to thrive. So why resilience is important? Resilience is generally defined as a company's capacity to absorb stress, to recover from critical functionality, to thrive in altered circumstances. Resilience is especially important today because our business environment is more dynamic and very unpredictable. COVID-19 has left a lot of industries shattered. One of those, the travel industry, it is coming back around a little bit, but not much. I know that my personal family members have been impacted, especially in the travel industry, as it relates to, travel being banned, of course, people not wanting to travel and some of those other things. So one of my main things is, how have you been resilient in business? Not just in business, but in life, in everything that you're doing. I know a lot of people have been affected with having to homeschool. Luckily for me, I am so glad that my youngest two children actually graduated in 2020. And I did not have to take on the actual teaching of my children. But I know people have had to take on that role, and they've had to be resilient in their family life. not just in business, but also within their family dynamic. I know people have had to be resilient within their marriages, within their corporate employment, within families, within all areas. So those of you who are in my clubhouse room, feel free, raise your hand, come on stage, tell me about your experience and what you have experienced over the last year as it relates to being resilient. Let's see. Tarkessa, welcome to the stage. Tell us who you are and what you do and how have you been resilient this past year?
I absolutely love the fact that you said my name correctly. You're awesome. That is awesome. So I am Tarkessa Colvin. I am the founder and CEO of iNow Publishing, a division of Influence Now Media. And here's the thing. 2020 didn't go like I planned. Shocking, I know. In 2019, I was moving and shaking, and I had a thriving business built on my publishing consultancy. I was making 6 figures, and God said, "Look here, little girl, I need you to shut this thing down." I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, God, we're doing great," And what happened for me was my 2020 started in the middle of 2019 because I got sick. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was taking more care of my business. So the weight of all of that came down on me, and I ended up taking all of December off and shutting down my business like God told me to. And then 2020 rolled around, and he's like, "Okay, now I want you to launch not just one business, but 2. And I'm like, "Oh, okay. No, I don't want to," right? And so then 2020, as we know it, hit. And it's like, oh my gosh, not only am I between the business that I had, but now I don't feel like I can build a business. I'm just getting my health back together. And I have been out of the employment game for a long time. And I had to deal with that. And I had to navigate that and navigate the feelings of, I felt like a failure. Even though I felt led to do what God told me to do. I don't know if anybody ever felt that. Like, you're like, "God, I did what you told me to do." And then I fell on my butt, or so-and-so spit in my face. That's how I was feeling. I was feeling like, well, maybe I misheard God. And when I tell you 2020, baby, the hits just kept on coming. Had family challenges. We lost my grandfather to COVID. Different things just kept happening. My youngest daughter didn't have the 2020 senior high school experience that she thought she was going to have. She graduated, but it was on the football field. She didn't have prom. Then my oldest daughter graduated with a degree in psychology. That was different than how we expected. It was so many things that I felt like God shattered the expectation so that he could put me and my family in a position to exceed that. And that probably sounds crazy, but it was truly, I had to hold on to God like I have never held on to him before, because I knew what my eyes saw and didn't see. And I knew what was happening around me. And it was really hard to not just get consumed by that. I don't know if anybody else has ever had a promise from God, but you got to hold on to that thing like a baby with a favorite toy. And in 2020, if no other time in my life, I learned how to be a prayer warrior for real. Not like cutesy, like I'm talking about fall down on your face for your life, for your business, for your health, for your children, for your legacy.
I get it. I'm right there with you. 2020 was that for me as well. I mean, my children also were senior class. 20 graduated in 2020. Their school only had senior prom, so they never went to a prom. They don't have junior prom at that high school, only senior prom. So I can relate. No senior prom, no senior trip, no senior activities at all. We did get to graduate right up until the last day, last few days. We weren't going to get to watch them. We were actually only going to see them on TV, but we actually were able to go to the stadium. It was only me and their dad. We didn't get to bring any other guests, but we were able to have a graduation. So resiliency is not only affecting adults, resiliency is affecting children, teenagers, young, old, everyone, all in between. And this in 2020, it definitely, my prayer life changed for the better. I didn't have a choice. It was either sink or swim, depend on God, or I didn't know what was going to happen between my business, with my family, with my kids, a whole lot of stuff I had to depend on God for. And just based on other conversations that I've had with business owners, with people in business, with all of that, general consensus is a lot of people are having the same experience that me and you are talking right here about, Tarkessa, as our experiences in 2020. A lot of other people have also had the same. So it just, I can totally relate to everything you are saying. Emma, do you have anything else that you would like to add to the conversation today? Welcome to my Instagram guests, Rochelle, Asa, Maria, some other ones I can't see who you are, but we have, I know some people on here are from Philippines, so we got people listening from everywhere. And for those of you who are just joining the room on Clubhouse, we are talking about resiliency, resiliency in business, life, relationship, everything. If you have something you want to add, please raise your hand and come onto the stage, ping other people into the room, and let's talk about it. Go ahead, Emma.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, excuse me. Good afternoon and good evening for those that are listening around the world or whatever their time zone might be. I just wanted to chime in on some things that Tarkesia and Michi said. This has been a time, COVID has really kind of slapped us all back into reality. You know, we've all had to adjust how we do, how we think. You know, from how we're dealing with our family, you know, trying to deal with family problems virtually. For instance, I know there are probably persons on here who've had to deal with persons being hospitalized or dying from COVID-19 and not being able to be there, to be present, when that is what we are, you know, accustomed to doing, especially when it comes to family. And in our businesses, it has forced us to really remember what a home life was really like. When you're at home and you're trying to work, you got your kids, you got your husband, you got you know, a million other things going on. So we've had to make some pivots with this COVID. And when we come out of COVID, everything is going to look different. It's not going to be anything about going back to the way it was or we're going back to that normal. No, we're going to have a new norm. So as far as being resilient, God created us that way to be resilient. And when we lean and depend on Him, He's going to make everything that we do a success. If Absolutely. We're lining up with what He has called, His plan, His purpose, and His destiny for us. My name is Emma, and I'm done speaking.
Absolutely, Emma. Thank you so much for what your experience of resilience has been in 2020. Amy, welcome to the stage. Talk to us. What have you experienced in reference to resilience, both in life and in business. Yep.
Hi, Michi, Emma, and everyone. Thank you so much for holding this room. In terms of resilience, I mean, just like so many other people in the world, I've had to, deal with a lot of shifts and changes. Michi, I love what you were saying about like our children having to face so much chaos with resilience as well. I'm a single mother of a 3-year-old daughter, and April of 2020, I was laid off from a job that I had in marketing, and I didn't really know what to do because it didn't seem like the old ways that I was doing things was going to work anymore. And so that's why I started my own business, my own tech startup, and have been moving along at a pretty good pace. I've had a couple of hiccups on the road, and my daughter also as well. She's only 3. She'll be 4 in a couple of weeks. And what she had to deal with was being pulled out of her school, and then being at home. And I was working from home for a little bit, and then I got laid off from my job because of pandemic, and she went through regression actually in the potty training. It was a really difficult period of time, and we're still kind of working through it. But I'm really grateful to have her in my life. I'm really grateful to be able to share this with everyone here. I just take things, one step at a time, and just move through, whatever I'm feeling, and allow myself to feel and experience things and learn and grow. And little by little, 2021 is actually, it's a time period where I feel like I'm learning, I'm sharing a lot more, and I feel like the community around me, like we're all thriving so much more together.
Yeah.
That's what I got to share for right now. So thanks.
Thank you so much, Amy. Yeah, absolutely. This whole time frame in, even still now, we're still having to be resilient. I mean, companies are going down. There's so many changes within local communities. There's so many changes within local government, within school systems. Everyone is realistically having a lot of these changes all at the same time, because resilience is in technology, with companies having to, really up their cyber games, so that, they're protected. Now with so many more people working from home, that's increased cyber attacks. So it's everyone in all walks of life, companies, Fortune 100, 500, 1,000, governments, remote workers, online business, ministries, nonprofits. Everyone is feeling the effects, and everyone is having to change and adapt and to make changes and be different in both life and business. So Maria, welcome to the stage. What do you have to offer us in the conversation today?
Hi, thank you for having me. Sorry to pop up again. I had to put my nanny to the board. boy and Annie Ford to sleep, and so I stepped out of the room.
Oh, no problem.
Resiliency just keeps popping up and popping up and popping up in my conversations for the last week and a half. So I'm really happy to be here. I think that I just want to be sure that I'm answering. Is there a specific question we're answering, or is it just about around growing your business and how resiliency?
No, it's just both. So both from a life perspective, a business perspective, just whatever you want to add to the conversation. We're just talking about, I know that I put resilience in business, but when I think about it, it's not just in business. It's both in life, relationships. We've had to be resilient over the last 15 months. Well, technically since March. So like a year now. But it came for some people, it was affecting people as early as December and January. So, but yeah, just whatever you want to add to the conversation.
Okay. Well, I am building a foundation for a program that is centered around teaching resiliency to teens and youth. That's a really big, important part, I think, about that people need when they're developing into the human that they want to become. And I think that resiliency needs to happen because without it, then you sit kind of in rock bottom, and that's where people might find themselves not crawling back up, not bouncing back up. Resiliency reminds me of those little toys that used to have a lot of sand at the bottom, and they were like this like punching bag or whatnot, and it would fall down, but it would come right back up.
Yes.
That's what I keep picturing. I keep thinking, oh, well, I'm not that resilient, but I'm like, yeah, I keep getting back up, get punched back down, but I'm coming back up. And I think a lot around resiliency also includes knowing when you're going to burn out, knowing when you're burnt out, knowing how to come out of that. And I think that lays back down to your authenticity. So what I'm working to do is teach resilience through learning about yourself, learning your strengths, learning your love language, learning your family's values, and then which ones you want to pick from there to go forth with your life in. And then also creating passions that aren't necessarily just going to be professional, but things that you can lean on that nobody can take away from you. So for me, I know that in my early life, and when I was going through trauma in my childhood that nobody else was really addressing, I would address it by journaling or dancing or singing my heart out, or being outside and writing. Actually, not just journaling, but like writing. In college, I was able to let go of a lot of things that weren't addressed when I was younger. And I remember taking classes, going to a counselor at the time that I got my own insurance. And it's like, people should have done this for me. Give me a therapist. So I went and got a therapist, and I told her my whole life story and all the things I've been through. And I said, okay, so what do I do? And she said, you're resilient. You don't need to do anything. And I had no idea what that word meant. And I went home and I, defined it for myself. And ever since then, I keep seeing that's what we need in the world.
Yeah.
When I look at the foster teens who were teen moms that I used to work with, they had resiliency. They had survivalistic resiliency. I'd like to ensue in people the next step up, which is the resiliency to thrive. And so in building my business right now, I'm realizing that I need to create boundaries around my own time so I can build and take time to fill my own cup and fill the cup of my business and then help others. But you got to keep the resilience. And in doing so, you have to know yourself enough. You have to enforce your boundaries. You have to restore yourself enough when your boundaries haven't been appreciated or respected. So always go back to what fills up your cup, and I think that's what makes us resilient. My name's Maria. I'm finished speaking.
Oh, Maria, that is so beautiful. That is lovely. I love exactly everything that you said. Jay, welcome to the stage. What do you have to add to the conversation? Tell us who you are and where you're from.
Thanks, Michi. My name is Jay, and I am from Dallas, Texas. I saw that you're from just down the road.
Yes, Irving.
Yeah. So we're kind of like neighbors.
Awesome.
So anyway, I've got a really good resilience story, and I'm a founder of my own company. I've got a partner, but I was approached by a friend that was in a really bad spot, and she's a Black woman founder of her own e-commerce business with her own product, her own thing. She could not get financing. She could not get anyone to back her up. And she had she started Edwa, a prestige beauty care product for kinky hair, and she could not get any financing, and she had POs or purchase orders from Sephora, and I had money that I had set aside for my business, and I was guided to say, you know what, you need this more than I do, and I was able to help her navigate through the process of fulfilling those POs, and she's now on a completely different path, and it was the right thing for me to do, and you know, I'm in a place where I could do it, and she has now paid me back 100%, and we are both on the path to success in 2021. But that's my story. My name is Jay, and I think I've shared what I need to do. But I do want to give a shout out to Maria. You are incredible. You are so self-aware and so capable of just picking up the pieces and moving on, and doing so well. And Tarkisa, you can do the same thing. Anyway, that's my contribution, and my name is Jay. Thank you.
Jay, thank you so much for that. That is amazing. That is an amazing story that you took a risk on someone. You followed, I would say that was God leading you to help that young woman to fulfill her business desires before your own, and you're going to reap a blessing for that. That is amazing. I feel so emotional about that right now.
Well, she's part of your group. I invited her to the Unicorn Tribe, so she may not be here today, but she'll be here.
Oh.
And she has such an amazing story. Her name is Julian Otto.
Okay.
And she's in the list of your members.
Awesome.
But if you don't know her product, if you don't know Julian, get to know her. Follow her on. She's amazing on Instagram. She has a great story. She does great reels. Incredible woman, and she's one of my best friends. But I was truly guided to help her, and we're both in a better place because of it.
That is amazing. Also, Jay and Patricia, welcome to Clubhouse. I see your little party hat. You have a home here within the Unicorn Tribe. Stay connected, follow me, and we bring you lots of different rooms within Clubhouse. For those of you who are on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, if you do not follow me, find me on Clubhouse. I am under Unicorn Tribe, UNIKORNTRYBE. We host lots of daily rooms, everything from the daily reading of God's word. We have our silent rooms to connect with others. We have business series. We have all kinds of things. And for anyone who is looking to host rooms, please reach out, connect with me. I'm actually having an orientation about that today. So DM me if anyone in my room is currently interested. DM me and I can set you up with hosting your own rooms. Amy, I saw that you unmiked. Go ahead.
Yeah, Michi, I would love to, if you could invite me to that room, I would love it, because I do want to start doing some rooms on, health and wellness, mental health, because that's what my business, what Mood Connect is all about, really letting people share their authentic stories regarding mental health. So, sorry, it's my 3-year-old. And Jay, I really love what you did for that woman. And Maria, I love your story as well. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'm done talking. Thanks.
Awesome. Yes, this has been a great conversation. Oh, sorry, I've been talking while on mute. This has been a great conversation. Patricia, Erica, do either of you want to come on stage and share your resiliency story, both in business, life, anything that you may have going on? Feel free to come on stage. We're inclusive here and we want everyone to be involved in the conversation. Emma, Amy, Maria, Jay, Tarkisa, does anyone have anything else they want to add to this topic today?
Oh. Yes, I would like to talk for a moment about a nonprofit organization that I am involved with, which has a real resiliency story that is still unfolding. I'm the program director of Am I Ready, which is a nonprofit organization that works with youth between the. So before March of last year, we were getting our funding and we were doing all different types of work in our organization. Then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, it's like we were doing business one day and the next day the business was shut down. We were doing in-person sessions with our clients. We're doing, like tutoring and mentoring and, we were getting our funding from Title 21. And then when COVID hit, everything quit. We lost our funding. We had to, pretty much our organization came to a standstill. So we had to pivot and figure out, okay, so now how are we going to serve our clients? So instead of trying to deal with clients in person, we had to learn how to deal with them virtually in just like a matter of 24 hours. So it has been difficult. We are still trying to get our organization back to functionality. We have a couple of programs going, but most of our programs are still on hold. So, it's been a challenge. This time for us as a nonprofit, not being able to do like the fundraisers that we're doing, can't do them in person, we're doing virtually. So it has really, really been a challenge. So, but we're still here. We are still working. We are located in Dallas, Texas, and we are still, praying and going forward with what God has called us to do in our nonprofit. So my name is Emma, and I'm done speaking.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emma. I am a part of that organization as well. So if anybody has students in that age range, 8th through 12th grade, please go on our website, fill out an application. You can find the link in my bio. Also, if anyone is looking to volunteer, we are always looking for volunteers as well. You can do so on that same website. Tarkisa, go ahead. I saw that you unmiked.
I did. I just wanted to share a word of encouragement. Resilience, it sounds kind of hard because it usually in the midst of it, it is a little bit hard. But what I wanted to remind us all, me included, resilience is not just about us. I think about my daughters And if I had let 2020 break me down, what kind of example would I be setting for them? What would I be
Absolutely.
modeling for them? And even the people who aren't my daughters, my friends, my peers, my sisters. Resilience is about breaking through those barriers and all of those different things that we feel like are holding us back, so that we can reach back and show someone exactly how to do it.
Absolutely.
Exactly how to cut that struggle time in half. And so, that's one of the things that kind of helps me. It's like, this is not about me. This is not just for me. And I haven't done anything wrong, right? Because in the midst of it, oh my goodness, you have been so punished. But I encourage us all to, instead of feeling punished, feel purposed. And I'm done speaking.
Ooh, love that. Instead of feeling punished, feel purposed. I love that. I'm gonna have to steal that. Love that. That is a good one. The 2 P's. Go ahead, Maria.
I just agree, Tarkasha. That is a very profound statement that you made, and it resonates so deeply when you're in the middle of it. And I don't even want to talk about how much I'm in the middle of it, because, like you said, you don't even know you're going through it. And the only reason why I know I'm using my resilience right now is because we happen to be talking it here on Clubhouse, and I had another room where I talked about it. But if I wasn't using the vocabulary, I really wouldn't know that that's what I'm practicing right now. 100%, it is totally for others, because my resilience is great for me, but it's so much. There's so much power in what you said. It's for when you need to reach back and teach somebody else how to do it without all the struggle, without having to wait till college, without having to wait till they are self-assured and stuff. Just starting that off earlier, and because you got it late, maybe. Thank you. My name's Maria.
Thank you so much, guys, for this room. I feel so full and so rich this conversation was. I thank you guys for being vulnerable, for sharing your stories, for sharing your backgrounds with me. I will see you guys next Wednesday. I do this show every week. It's called the Be a CEO live show. And so basically the Be a CEO is an acronym. It stands for Balanced Entrepreneur, Action-Oriented, Christian, Empowered, and On the Money. And I do this every single week, and I stream it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now Clubhouse. So I really thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you around the room. Have the most amazing day ever. Bye.